A listener warning. Please be advised that this episode contains content that may be disturbing to some listeners, including descriptions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes.
I'm Jen.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are, in fact, three different people.
This podcast focuses on true crime under the spotlight of arts and entertainment. So grab your beverage of choice and settle in.
Places, ladies.
Here's our episode. Hey friends, Jen here. So we may have gotten a little carried away with this recording. We didn't intend for this to be a two-parter, but after recording for 3 hours, here we are. So please enjoy Act 1 of our coverage of Daniel Wozniak. And the next part, Act 2, will drop in 2 weeks. If you'd like early access to that, please go ahead and join our Patreon. You're going to want to see the video version of this in all its glory. And we're going to drop that a little early for our Patreon subscribers. So that'll be dropping next week. We appreciate you all so much. Happy listening. Hello.
Hello.
Here we go.
Oh my God. We're doing it.
There they are.
We're all holding our awkward merch shirts up.
No.
To
To be clear,
For those not watching the video, we're not flashing.
no.
One never knows with
For
us,
right,
but
and for those listening, we're all wearing our community theater show shirts
Adjacent.
or something to that effect.
yeah, community theater inspired t-shirts.
Inspired
t-shirts.
t-shirts.
Because
yes,
if you've ever done a community theater show, you have probably received a cast t-shirt at some point if there was any budget monies left over.
Right.
Design and quality may vary depending on the theater. We were just saying before we got on, at least in my experience, some of my favorite productions have had my least favorite shirt designs, which is really
100%.
I'm not going to name any names, but like, my God, I'm like, would love to wear a shirt to commemorate that show, but I can't because it's like,
But I cannot do it.
it's like we chose baby poop brown because that's a color the cast will get to wear. Everyone
That's
looks
true.
good
The
in baby
colors
poop
are
brown.
often the issue. Yeah, you're so right.
What a combo. Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
what if it was just a really sad, like beige with white type that you can't even read? What if we did that? Like,
I have it. I have that one, I think.
God.
I have them all safely tucked away somewhere. So I found an adjacent one. And of course, I'm still wearing my kimono because
Of course.
that is pure
we're not.
community theater. This is what I wear in my dressing room.
Jen, what is your
I'm
shirt?
wearing- Oh,
yeah.
mine has a number 1 on it.
Yeah.
Because my co-star in Let Love Grow, it was my first number 1 in a rom-com, so he bought me this number 1
Hold on
shirt.
a second. We
So
just
that's
have to
what
take
I'm
a
wearing.
time out.
Uh-oh.
So,
Okay.
Jen is not wearing a community theater shirt. She's
Yeah, I'm
wearing
sorry.
a my first movie I starred in t-shirt.
Well, technically not the first one I starred in,
Weird
but rom-com,
flex,
yeah.
Jen. It's a weird. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't my first starring role.
So Jen is actually flexing the movie and television industry. Olivia, what are you representing here?
What are you
Because
flexing?
you also don't
Well-
actually have a community theater shirt on.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear it.
Mine's not the like, this is the time that I starred on Broadway shirt. No, this Okay, this shirt is actually super super cool, and I very rarely wear it. I have 2 of them. I have one in red. This one is like a
Ooh.
vivid purple.
Very purple,
It says
yeah.
dance, and it is
Dance.
from the School of Performing Arts,
Mm-hmm.
which is the dance studio that was my mother taught at her for like 40 years, and it was founded by Patty Watson Walsh.
Yeah.
This was Patty's shirt.
Oh my
So
God.
Miss Patty, when she passed
Miss
away,
Patty. I
yeah,
like
her
that.
daughter Phyllis gave me 2 of Miss
That's so
Patty's
sweet.
shirts. And so it's very near and dear. And anybody that knows anything about Southern Ballet Theater, all these people were the people, they all grew up in Orlando,
Yep.
and they were part of School of Performing Arts or Southern Ballet, which
Yep.
then became Orlando Ballet. So,
Yes, little Central
That's
Florida
cool.
ballet history there for you.
that's right.
That's cool.
That's right.
I am representing.
Ashley.
It was tough for me to choose, but then I was like, oh, how do I pick? I chose. So
Mhm.
I ended up with, I can say, an Into the Woods. As I have been a part of several Into the Woodses over the years, but this production was one of the last productions that I was a part of before the Troubles. So before
Ah.
before the world shut
Poor
down,
Gertrude.
before that
The before times.
before
Yep.
a little
Yep.
thing called the COVID-19 pandemic. So
Yep.
yeah, this was one of the last like shows that I got to be a part of like before that. And I think also one of the last like really last community theater production I was a part of before that as well. So yeah. So I've got Into the Woods going. Love some
I love
Sondheim,
it.
Into the Woods.
Yeah.
Actors love it. Audiences are always going to be confused and distressed by Act Two.
Always.
Just people are like Act One. What a fun and delightful
Yeah.
What a
time.
fun romp in the
What could
woods. Yeah.
possibly happen? And then it's like
Mhm.
Stephen Sondheim is like, strap in, friends. Like there's more.
There's more. I
It is
have
not
my
a
little
it's
night
not a
music
happy
shirt
it's not a happy go
somewhere.
lucky. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Jen, what did the Little Night? Jen and I, the only production we've ever been in together, listeners, was a production of
Mhm.
also Stephen Sondheim, A Little Night Music in
Yeah.
2010. What was
Sounds
that
right.
shirt? I can't visualize the shirt.
It was blue. It was actually bright blue, like this.
It is that
Had a little
okay?
Bay Street Players over here. Yeah.
I,
I have it and a few others just tucked away somewhere very safely, but of course I don't know where that safe
where
place
that
is right now. So
you've organized them so well, you hid them from yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
My ADHD is so good.
I pull that move all the time. Yeah, I couldn't remember. In my mind's eye, they were navy, but you're absolutely right. They were brighter
They
blue.
were bright
They were
blue.
blue.
Mhm.
Olivia, did we get? We didn't get.
I was just gonna say we did not have a shirt for Mary
We
Poppins.
sure didn't. Because I have
Um,
two, and they're virtually identical from my listeners. I've been in Mary Poppins thrice, and I have shirts
1, 2, and 3.0
1, 2, and 3.0.
to differentiate.
Olivia and I were part of 2.0 together, but shirts 1 and 3 are literally the same design because they were produced by the same theater, but one is light blue and one is navy. That's how I
dang.
I
distinguish
love that
them.
it's still the same color scheme
Well,
too, though. Like we're sticking with blue.
And it's like Disney theatrical, and so it's like the logo is
Oh.
like very locked down. They're like, you will be using
Yeah.
this red and white logo we've
This-
given
yeah.
you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all you can use for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, we were rocking some community theater shirts today
Mhm.
because Jen, I believe you have a community theater based story for us.
I sure do.
Oh my
Guys,
God.
strap in, strap in. So, I thought it might be fun. As much as I love history and was in fact a history minor for a hot minute, I thought we could bring it into the now times,
The
the
times.
now-ish times.
Well, we've done so many
Yes.
of our episodes have either been from like I think like the latest we've gotten is like what like the 1950s with
Yeah.
Olivia and like Mama Rose's.
with
Yeah.
Mama Rose, yeah.
Yeah, we went a little bit into we were in the 20th century.
Yeah.
Like mid
Correct.
20th century. Yeah.
And Evelyn lived until the 60s. Evelyn
As-
Nesbit, right?
as
yeah,
the-
67. Yeah.
And as the
Mhm.
children of today's society say, "Oh, you mean the 1900s?" That's what they call they're like,
when we
"Oh,
were all
we were
born.
born in
yeah,
the
they're like, "Oh, you
1900s.
were born in the
1900s.
1900s?" I'm like,
Yes.
I will stab
The late
you.
1900s. Thank you very much. But the 1900s.
Stab you.
But that sounds like such an old fashioned sentence. Like I was born in the late 1900s.
know,
like
but,
Like
you know,
think like we are the turn of the century, it'll be like
we are. It's us. Yeah.
wow, they were born in 1979?
Ugh,
They
so
saw
old. 2000?
They saw the new millennium, like
Yeah.
the
Wow.
Y2K,
Y2K and all of
Y2K.
it.
Oh my God. So
All of it.
what year are we talking here, Jen? So we're in the
So-
21st century.
We're in the 21st
Oh my God.
century. We're talking 2010
Okay.
up to 2019. So
Okay. So
there's some time.
2010s is like social media,
Mhm.
smartphones,
Mhm.
all the trappings
Yes.
of interwebs.
Texting. Very important.
Where were you guys in 2010? I'm just trying to think back.
Here.
Well, Jen,
Doing a little
Jen
night
and I,
music, I
Jen-
think.
Jen and I were on stage somewhere, like together.
You
Um,
were in a
yeah.
show.
I was
Yeah.
I was like vocally miscast. I was like doing an alto. It was great. They raised
Oh, you really were. That's right. So alto, too.
yeah, like a true, just like a low range alto. And they're like, "What do you mean you
Mhm.
can't sing this?" I was like, "I didn't ask to be in this, but here we are."
Here we are.
Big here, but they raised it a third. It still wasn't enough. Yeah, a little night music in 2010. What else was happening that year? I feel like I was in
I'm
other
trying to
shows.
remember.
There's another
I
shows
was
that year, I'm
working.
sure.
Yeah.
I was working at the Annie Russell Theater as
Mhm.
the marketing and box office, but I can't place what I'm sure I was doing a show.
Shows you were in.
I might have been
was-
doing Gypsy
At
at
Ice House. Was it
I
that
might
long?
have been doing Gypsy at Ice House.
I can't believe it was that long ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
know.
just feel like if you ask me, I'd be like 2015.
No.
Huh.
Oh, thank you.
I said,
What's that
and then we would have
recent?
known each other because I knew you when you did Gypsy.
I would like to search my Facebook. However, I lost access to my Facebook account 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So my
Terrible.
memories are gone. It's like I had to
All of
start a
them.
new
What was
Facebook
even
account.
happening in
Gone.
2010? Yeah, I think also in 2010, I remember this has nothing to do with, well, it does. I went to Washington, D.C. for the first time in 2010
Oh.
and visited Ford's Theater where Lincoln was assassinated.
Yes.
And they have a whole
Ooh.
museum in the basement of the theater because
Mhm.
it's still a fully operational theater. They
Yeah.
produce shows there and they have like the box like with a flag and a little picture like this is where it happened. But
Mhm.
the whole basement of the theater is a museum and like they have the gun, they have the bullet, they have like booths like
Wow.
boot that because his leg was broken
Was
when he
broken when he
jumped to the
jumped off the
stage. Yeah,
stage.
yeah. And so they cut the boot off his leg, the doctor who said his leg did, and they have the boot in the basement in the museum. Like
Oh
and
my God.
it's incredible. It really is. I'm like maybe field trip someday, but
I would love to. I've been to DC a million times because I'm from Maryland, but I've never been to the Ford's Theater, which is
oh
ridiculous.
well
I went there in
Yeah.
the 5th grade.
Yeah. That's the year you go to
that's
DC
when you do it.
in
Which-
Maryland. Like you
Mhm.
go fifth.
Yeah.
That's why I went all the time because my mom taught fifth
Oh,
grade.
that's what I was doing in 2010.
There you go. Yeah,
Ba-dum-bum.
exactly.
Bump.
Going to
Just a
Fifth
mere
grade,
child.
2010.
I was like, 20 something, and Olivia was somehow younger than me at that point.
Mhm.
Just a time traveler.
I think I was still teaching. I was either still teaching theater at the last school that I taught at, or I was at the Arts Education Center. I'm not sure.
Well, Ford's Theater, I
I've
think
lived many lives.
Ford's Theater was about to produce Oklahoma when I was there, which I thought was absolutely wild because I was there in like
That's
I want to say it was like
wild.
the end of the summer. It was like a family trip, and I was shocked to realize it was still operational. A and B, it was like next on our season. It's like Ratchets and Hammersteins,
Oh,
Oklahoma. I was
Oklahoma.
like, oh my god! But also like what a community theater staple. Like,
Yeah.
have you even done community
Yes.
theater if you haven't like run across
If
an
you haven't done-
Oklahoma?
You
at some
haven't done
point? Like,
Run across
Oklahoma?
in
it's
Oklahoma.
like one of the
yeah.
community theater gateway drugs. It's like
Yeah.
that or like Music
And-
Man. Like,
And then the question,
Yes.
by the way, that was my first musical I ever did. Was
Music Man?
Oh,
really?
were
The
you
first one I
Anita?
directed.
Yes.
I was Anita.
Stop it. How are we only
You
just
were?
now figuring this out? Yes, in 1999.
Wow.
Mine would have been 19. I was in high school, so mine would have
Mhm.
1995, I think.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeet gods.
Ye
Yeah.
gods.
God.
Oh
I
my
definitely
gosh.
had a t-shirt from that show.
I have
but
that
You
don't-
gotta
shirt.
find it.
I have that shirt. It is somewhere. Listeners, I promise you, we are in fact different people. We are not.
Watch our social media. We posted a
We
video
posted a
last
video.
night to prove it.
My production was in 99. Olivia's was 95. Definitely
you
not
go.
the same person.
Not the same.
Just,
No.
Not the same.
All right. Well,
Jen, tell us everything. We are coming in so fresh on this.
I
I've
know.
never heard of this case. I have no idea
Me
what
either,
we're about to
and
uncover.
We purposely did not, because we talked a little bit about it last night.
Yeah.
Last night was our toast in case.
yeah, we toasted
we
because
just dropped our first
we
episode.
just dropped our first
48
episode
hours ago
officially.
from.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
That's right, when this is being actually recorded.
Recorded.
And we purposely, Ashley and I were like, don't tell us anything. We haven't Googled anything. We don't know anything.
We wouldn't be-
I love
except
it.
This is going to be epic.
Super fresh. Yes, and
Ooh.
thank you, by the way. I know this is going to be retroactive by the time this airs, but to everyone who has followed
Yes.
and downloaded so
Oh
far,
my goodness.
ladies, we have had 45 downloads already, and just
we got 5
like
more today.
the first
Woohoo!
2 days.
That's so great.
Very, very exciting. Yeah.
And we have
Oh,
some.
I'm so
Patreon
excited.
people.
We have no
Yes, we do.
Patreon friends.
I was thinking we should call the Patreon the Green Room.
Oh, yes.
Very
yes.
cool.
I love
Like,
it.
so
Yep.
we have some Green Room members.
Which is
If
so
we-
exciting because we have ensemble, we have supporting leads, and stars. So where do they hang out?
In the green room. You have green
Absolutely.
room access.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Unless you're a big star, like Jen Bonner in her kimono. She doesn't hang out in the green room. She hangs out in
I
her
hang out in my
private dressing
trailer.
room.
My trailer.
Oh my
You
God.
be in my trailer.
Well, Jen,
Yeah.
Jen, take us
Okay.
in. Get us
All right.
into this. We're ready.
Okay. I will say right up front that a lot of the research I did was actually news reports and a Dateline episode and a 2020 episode because
God.
it's, now. So there aren't a lot of books or anything on it. It's news.
But how
So
I love Dateline. I
know.
can't believe
Well,
I've
We
completely
missed
missed
it.
it.
Totally.
you missed it. So if anyone is interested, the Dateline episode is called Plot Twist and it's season 24, episode 16. And the 2020 episode is called The Final Act. It's season 43, episode 26.
Theater puns galore.
Theater puns. Oh,
I
there's
love
so
it.
many.
May I just say, yeah,
Just wait.
the folks at Dateline in 2020 understood the assignment. They're like, this is our
They
chance.
sure
This is our chance.
They've been waiting for it. Somebody is a PA and they're like, oh my God, I've got
That's
it.
it. Somebody has been waiting my whole life.
This is my moment. And I also am going to say up front, even though there are some convictions, alleged, because I'm going to forget to say it.
Alleged.
Alleged.
We're not on
Right
the
up
legal
front.
team. We don't know any of these people.
No,
We're just,
we don't know.
yeah.
No.
I'm just
also
reporting what was
I-
reported.
I can't wait for our own dialogue about the community theater experience in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is gonna
coming.
this episode is gonna be dripping with community theater in
Yes.
Orlando reference.
Inside jokes. Like, if you know, you know, listeners.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
If you know, you know.
And if you
that's
don't
right.
follow us on social, and we'll let you in on it.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Patreon
so,
top tier. We'll spill the
yeah,
tea. Yeah.
Patreon top tier will let you in. Yeah. For our boozy lunch brunches. We'll let them in. So the setting is Orange County, California, the quintessential California town, Costa Mesa. A beautiful little small town, and there's very little crime in Costa Mesa. Usually 1 to 2 murders a year. So it's a safe place. Safer than Orlando. So
Do you remember, by the way, this might have been happening in 2010. We were the murder capital of the world, of the
We were
country.
for a hot minute. I remember.
We sure
That's
were.
right.
It was.
We were the murder capital of the country, and the what do they call them? Not the Hell's Angels. Not those guys.
not those guys.
the other ones.
The ones that wear the red jackets and patrol, to keep
I don't know.
communities safe.
Crime Watch.
No, oh my God, somebody's gonna be like screaming at the
Scream
at their
at
podcast.
us at our socials. We'll figure it out. I
the
didn't know that.
Guardian Angels.
The Guardian
Guardian
Angels.
Angels. Close.
And they're
Hill Guardian,
anyway.
yeah.
We were a mess. That might have been 2010.
Maybe,
Well,
maybe that's why. Maybe we.
That's what we were
maybe
doing.
we
We were
archived
just
it.
staying safe.
Singing
Yeah.
Sondheim and staying safe. Like,
Yeah, just exactly. Singing Sondheim and staying safe. That's a shirt right there.
adding it to the merch
Add it
list.
to the list. Add to list. All right.
Okay,
So,
continue. So 2 murders a
here-
year.
So yes, 1 to 2 murders a year in Costa Mesa. The characters in our production today are Julie Kiboishi and Sam Hare. Julie was a dancer and aspiring fashion designer, a free spirit. She was born on Valentine's Day. Her mom called her Valentine's Day baby, and she was the only girl in the family. She was compassionate, talented, fun to watch, bright, vivacious. You
Oh,
could
no.
say
Jen.
she lit up a
She
room.
lit up a room. Wow. Oh no.
This woman is dead. Like, this woman's dead. Public could die. Anytime a woman lights up a room, that's it. Like, it's over.
It's over.
I found
It's
a
over.
shirt the other day. Well, first of all, I did a show and I was reviewed as charismatic and very likable. And I was like, if somebody says I light
Oh,
up a room,
damn
I'm
it.
dead. I'm
What?
dead.
What?
You didn't.
You know what?
Okay, good.
Of the
So-
three of us, the one who would be said to light up a room, it would be you, Jen.
Yeah,
I
It's
know.
not me.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to have to. There's a shirt I saw that says does not light up a room and I need it. I just want to be like, I may look like it, but I don't.
like along the same lines, didn't they have those? This might be a tangent. When the Zodiac was active in California, and that one journalist was talking shit about him in like his articles, and he pissed off the Zodiac, and the Zodiac went after this journalist. Like, quickly. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm coming for you. And all the journalists started wearing buttons that said, "I am not Paul Avery."
Yes. Yes.
Does not light up a
Do
room.
not light
is
up a room.
The equivalent for women.
Right.
It's like the equivalent of that. Like,
We need
Does not light up a
buttons.
room. We do.
Buttons
We'll
that
hand them
you can
out.
put on like your purse.
yeah,
Does
Yeah.
not light
Does
up
not
a
light
Not
up
room.
light up a room.
merch.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Darkens the
Stop.
doorway.
Darkens
That's me
the
right here. Darkens the doorway.
That's it. That's
Let
you.
me live.
That's
I bring
you.
about my own sense of destruction.
Let me
You
live.
don't need to take me out.
Yes. So she was always willing to help a friend. Everybody loved Julie. She was also a Japanese American. Just her family was here. They were living the American dream in Southern California. There's a gentleman named Sam Hare. He was an Army veteran just back from Afghanistan. Really close with his parents, all around great guy. He saved his combat pay and went back to school to get his degree so he could rise up in the ranks of the Army. always smiling, always laughing. When he was on active duty, he volunteered to keep generators going on the border of, I think, Pakistan and Afghanistan. It was like a really, really dangerous mission, and he did it every single day.
Wow.
So he's consistently called, a hero
Yeah.
because he was doing things, and he volunteered to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Super dangerous.
He also suffered from PTSD and night terrors.
Mhm.
When he came
Mm.
back home, he would wake up and kind of find himself in a foxhole.
Mhm.
And the two of
Ooh.
these lovely people met at Orange Coast Community College as students. Julie mentored him, tutored him actually in anthropology. She looked up to him. He was a little older than everybody else in class, so he was kind of the big brother to everybody, and they had a very strong platonic relationship. So there are a couple things that were thrown out at some point that they were dating. They were not. It was a very platonic relationship, but they loved each other very, very much.
Buddies.
So those are our characters to start. The plot. May 21st, 2010. Julie was going to hang with her brother Taka that evening. She made it to her brother's house and they had dinner together. Then Taka and his fiance asked her to be in their wedding, and they gave her a tiara as like a will you be my bridesmaid sort of thing. And while she was there, she was getting these text messages from Sam asking for help, seeming very, very off kilter, not like Sam. But she wants to help. She's a helper, right? She loves her friends. She's going to do what she can do. These texts are things like, and this is why I love that this is a modern story. We have video, we have texts, we have phone calls recorded. So there's a lot of verbatim. Texts like, can you come over tonight at midnight alone?
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait.
Please, no sex. I need to talk.
But
and she like replied, of course not. You're like my brother.
Yeah, no, like that goes without
Right?
saying.
Mhm.
Now,
Yes, it goes
maybe
without saying.
maybe only because my strong interest in true crime for many, many
Mhm.
years. You
Sure.
send me a text like that, I immediately
Mhm.
am calling the cops and saying, someone has his phone. They're trying to entrap me. Like, there's no way. It feels
Yeah.
very calls are coming from inside the house.
Right?
But also, like, never have I ever received an innocuous text from a friend just being like, hey, can you just like swing by at midnight? Like,
At midnight.
just like
Yeah.
everything's fine, but I need you to come and it's urgent, but at midnight.
It's
Like,
urgent. But at
also,
midnight. Yeah.
please, no sex. Like, please, could you
Please.
control
Yeah.
yourself? Like,
Can you control yourself around me, please? Thank
please.
you. Yeah.
You're constantly ripping your
Mhm.
clothes off around me, and I've had
don't
it
want
with
it.
you.
I don't want it.
These are not conversations that
No.
I have, or text exchanges rather. That
No.
yeah. Huh. Okay.
No.
Yep.
The last one that's also very interesting, of course. Please don't tell anyone.
Oh well. Yeah. No. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Listeners,
But
if you ever get any sort of message ever that ends with
Yes.
"please don't tell anyone," tell everybody.
Like,
Tell everyone.
just-
Drop a pin on your location
Exactly.
to your
Yes.
friends' phones. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
she did, because she was with her brother, he knew where she was going, but she did go to help Sam because she thought it was Sam, right? You wouldn't think, maybe in 2010, you wouldn't think.
Okay, 2010.
True
That's
crime
fair.
wasn't so popular yet.
Except in
Maybe.
Orlando, the murder capital of the world.
Maybe not in Orlando, but in Costa Mesa, maybe.
Law and Order SVU has been on the air
That's
since
true.
like the
Olivia
90s.
Benson's been around for a long time.
Olivia Benson would
queen.
find issues with this situation. I'm just
Everyone,
saying, like,
everyone by now should know better because thanks
Yeah.
to Law and Order SVU.
Thanks to Olivia Benson.
Bare
and
minimum,
Elliot
yeah.
Stapler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Julie's mom, her name is June, normally waits up for Julie. She still lived at home. But because she was with her brother and she didn't come home right away, she was like, okay, it's fine. She probably just got tired and stayed with her brother. She did try to call and didn't get an answer. She went to bed anyway. The next day, she called again and called again and called again and was getting no answer from Julie. So she called Taka and he told her that Julie had left and kind of the events of the evening. And then her mom, June, started to panic. She had that feeling,
Yep.
that mom feeling or that gut feeling that any of
Yeah.
us can have.
when you know, you know. Yeah.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
Sam's dad, Steve, is having the same issues. So he would call Sam's phone and it went straight to voicemail, which is a very weird thing, apparently, for Sam. And Sam was supposed to be with his dad and his mom for the weekend. He was going to go hang out with them, and he never showed up. So Steve drove down to Sam's apartment. He had a key. He went in. The apartment was clean. Nothing looked out of the ordinary. Everything looked like his son's bachelor pad, right?
Door was locked, so he needed the key to go in.
Door was locked.
Okay.
He needed his key to go in. Everything seemed normal. Then he went into the bedroom. And trigger warning, I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible. He found Julie dead on Sam's bed. She was half on the bed, half off. She appeared to have been sexually assaulted. So her pants were like down to her knees. She was shot. And someone had written on her sweatshirt the words, "All yours, fuck you."
Wait. Like, so the
On the back of her
she was
sweatshirt.
wearing,
Ew.
that was written on it?
Yes.
With like a marker or
like a marker or something. Yeah.
All yours?
All yours, fuck you. Yeah.
Ugh.
And then I think probably the saddest detail is she was still wearing the tiara her brother had given her on Friday.
That is
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
She wore the tiara
It's
over
heartbreaking. So police will discover later there is not one, but 2 gunshot wounds to her head. And that becomes a little important later.
Okay.
But it couldn't be, you couldn't tell that from
Sure. Like
the
not
situation.
not just from
Yeah.
looking right away.
Right.
Yeah.
So Steve calls 911, says, there's a dead body, there's a dead woman
Yeah.
in my
He
son's
probably didn't-
apartment.
Oh, but
and
Sam's
he
body's
didn't know.
not in the bedroom.
Sam's nowhere to be found.
So he's gone to
Oh.
his son's apartment and there's a dead girl in it.
There's a
and
dead
he
woman
may or may
in
not
the
even know
bedroom.
who she is. Like
Correct.
like that you're a
right.
friend.
Because they're just friends from college.
Yeah, why would he even
So
be introduced
maybe,
to this
maybe not.
person? Yeah.
Correct. So they ask, where's your son? Does he know her? And he says, I don't know where my son is. So Sam becomes the only logical suspect at this point.
Sure. Yeah. Occam's razor.
During this time, yes, exactly. During this time when they're like investigating the apartment and all of that stuff, Steve, Sam's dad, calls a friend of Sam's, Ruben, who was in the forces with him. And Ruben said he was concerned too, because before Sam was going to go to his parents, he was going to stop by a party at Ruben's and he never showed up. And Ruben called numerous times because it's not like Sam to not show up.
Yeah.
Right? So he called and called and called, nothing. And then someone picked up the phone. And Ruben was like, hello? And he said, yeah. And he was like, it wasn't Sam. But they pretended to be Sam.
Oh no.
It was
and
a
said-
male.
It was a male. It said, I'm busy right now, having a lot of problems with family. Hung up. Ruben called back. No answer. And Ruben was like, okay, first of all, it doesn't sound like Sam, but maybe that's a fluke. But when he said he was having family problems, he was like, something's wrong here. Because Sam didn't have family problems.
Yeah. No,
They were
Yeah,
real
right.
close. Okay. So that is, Ruben doesn't really come up much more, but I thought that was a very interesting
this is
little bit of
this is
information.
also like someone taking a stab at like maybe sort of like general plausible stuff like come over late, but don't worry, like no sex and like family problems. It was like
right.
maybe with other people.
That's what everybody says, right?
Yeah, it's like maybe with other people
Yeah.
that would be like a thing you would say, but it's like if you know these people at all, you know that neither of those are like A, things you need to say, or B, plausible
Correct.
scenarios. So like, yeah,
Correct.
alarm bells.
Hey friends, Jen here, and we hope you're enjoying this episode of Life Upon the Wicked Stage. Just a few quick reminders. If you're looking for any of the visuals that we've mentioned in this or any episode of the podcast, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Wicked Stage Pod or Facebook at Life Upon the Wicked Stage. If you want more, please join our Patreon by searching the Wicked Stage Podcast. There you'll find ad-free episodes, videos of our recordings, mini-sodes, behind-the-scenes content, giveaways, and so much more. And the most important side note, if you like the show, please give us a nice rating wherever you listen. It sounds silly, but it's still the best way to get the word out and support us in this crazy podcast world. Well, lights are blinking, intermission's over, so grab those snacks and another drink and enjoy the rest of the show.
So, enter the actors. Center stage.
Wait,
in
are
the
they?
spotlight. Here they
Are
come.
they? Are they? Is it like?
Tell me.
Like we've got magic to do.
Oh, are you singing
No.
Pip and
Just
Olivia?
for you. I mean, we've got miracle games to play. Like I'm just
No, they
imagining
don't get
these
that
actors
song.
coming,
They don't get
doing
it.
like a little
Mm.
Fosse.
This is our first Stephen
Wait.
Schwartz reference on this podcast.
Well done. That'll be in the show notes. First Stephen Schwartz reference.
Lights up.
Lights up, center stage. The actors have entered.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
as the police are investigating, they find two things on the counter in Sam's apartment. One was Julie's ID and her purse. So, that's how they know it's Julie right away.
Sure. Mhm.
The second is an invitation to the wedding of Dan Wozniak and Rachel Buffett, neighbors of Sam's and community theater actors.
Is this like
Lights out on them for the moment. We'll come back.
it's giving
Go ahead.
it's giving the Albertsons, Ron
Mhm.
and Sheila of Waiting for Guffman. Is anyone?
Yes.
Yes, Ron and Sheila Albertson. We call them
There's going to be a lot of waiting for Guffman references in this show.
Yes. We're professional actors. Do you want me to strike this?
Do you want me
me
to strike
it?
Do you want me to strike that?
we call them Lunts of Blaine.
Midnight at the
Oh my God.
We know all the terms
Oh,
going
my
in.
goodness.
We know all the
We sure
terms.
do. So, as the police are there, Julie's phone starts to ring. And authorities are like, oh, her phone's here. That's win. So they start going through her text messages, start piecing things together.
Get a timeline.
So she got a text, yes, from Sam about helping Dan Wozniak with some stuff for this upcoming wedding. Helping Dan with a few things, then heading to folks for the weekend. So Julie knew what was going on. Right?
Wait. So on Julie's phone, there was texts about
From
the wedding.
Yes, from Sam.
Actually, from Sam
So,
about Dan's wedding.
From Sam, correct. Then, as the police are going through, they see that the tone in the text messages from Sam drastically change in the next few hours.
all of a sudden, it
Is it a
got
man
weird.
in trouble?
Yeah.
Is he on the edge? Because remember, he has PTSD.
PTSD.
They're really concerned.
Yeah.
He, is great with firearms. He was in the armed forces. They're concerned, right? Maybe he's drinking. Maybe he's using drugs.
Having some sort of
he assaults
breakdown,
her,
yeah.
accidentally kills her and
Right.
runs. His passport is missing. His car is missing.
Mm.
And to the authorities, it's obvious that it's him because everything feels like, yeah,
Right,
it's
it's
him.
pointing to him.
Yep.
And in 2002, when he was 18, he did have an arrest, which he was found not guilty on, but it was a gang incident. He was messed up with some of the wrong people.
Yep.
But he was found not guilty. And it was at that point that he turned his life around,
Sure.
went into the armed forces, became really close with his family. So it was one of those
But if-
things that happened.
But if you're looking for
and-
anything and you have that little
Correct.
plausible, it's like, well, there was this
Correct.
thing. Like it will come back around then. And even if it's a nothing
Exactly.
burger, like it doesn't look great on top of all the other circumstantial,
yeah, passport's gone, car's gone. There's a woman in your
you send her
bed,
some weird
dead.
texts apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. So they put out a bulletin for Sam that he is armed and dangerous, and they're looking for him. The cops are concerned because he knows how to use a weapon. Like I said, he has PTSD. He'd outsmarted the Taliban. So,
So these
It's
little
literally what they
Costa
said.
Mesa cops.
yes,
He's a
are like,
resourceful dude. Yeah.
right. He's very resourceful. And they literally said in these episodes, they thought there is no way that it wasn't Sam. They
Right.
were absolutely convinced at this point.
It's giving Gone
So they
Girl.
s-
It's like
It's giving Gone Girl. Very,
the
yes.
blood
Yeah.
is in your house. Like
Mhm.
it's like you have credit card stuff. You took out the life insurance policy and your wife's name.
Yeah.
It looks real bad for Sam right now. I
Yeah.
agree.
Put a pin in that credit card because stuff's coming.
Credit cards.
Oh,
So,
ooh, except for
know.
that wedding invitation to
Mhm.
the. Okay,
To the
can I
wedding.
ask?
Yeah.
So, for two community theater actors that are
They
going to get
are.
married
Uh-huh.
to each other. So, is there
Uh-huh.
do you think there's a theme to the wedding? Like, you know what I mean?
I
Is
am
it?
certain there was a theme to that wedding.
What do you think of the theme? Do you think it was like Curly and Lori finally together
Oh.
and they?
Olivia,
You know?
I'm shipping not Rogers and Hammerstein, but like some enchanted evening. Like it's
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
oh,
Just
oh.
like a bad prom theme.
You
1,000%. Yes.
You are
Under the
invited
sea.
to join us for some enchanted,
Enchanted
evening.
evening.
The wedding.
I was in South
of-
Pacific.
You.
Oh my God. Listeners, if you have had or have been to some sort of theater-inspired wedding situation, please,
Please tell us.
please let us know. Either comment, DM us on socials, or email us
Yeah.
at wickedstagepod@gmail.com because we want to know.
And let us know what you think the theme of Dan and Rachel's wedding.
Yeah, because I'm assuming we don't actually
'Cause
find out.
I'm no, we don't.
This
But
wasn't
I
on
assume there
Dateline.
absolutely was one. No, Dateline dropped the ball on that one.
Damn it. No, what? And
Come
do you
on,
think there was
Dateline.
like theater masks on the invitation, like the
I
good
was like,
old
Oh, it did show
Comedy and
the
tragedy.
invitation, and
Oh.
no, there were not. I know. I'm
Missed-
surprised
missed
as well.
opportunity.
They really missed
opportunity,
that.
yeah.
they really did. They really
Ooh.
did.
Maybe it was like tale as old as time.
I don't know.
The Union.
What's the song?
Yes.
All I Ask of You from like Phantom. Like there's so many.
Phantom.
Like they could really just be a
Or music of the night, like they're really getting into
Oh,
it.
right,
you know?
right.
Yes, many
Everyone has to wear masks. It's a masquerade.
Oh, masquerade. Yes,
Yeah.
all the guests have to come in a masquerade in
Yeah.
a mask.
Well,
I mean,
and many a musical of certainly of a certain era was like we should end in a big white wedding. Like
Exactly.
gotta have
Always the
a
big-
wedding sequence.
well, because in Shakespeare, if it's a comedy, if it ends in a wedding,
a
and
wedding,
it's a
that's
tragedy
right.
if it ends with
With
the death.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
And you can
Yeah.
apply that rule to almost any modern day comedy
Absolutely.
movie,
Absolutely.
sitcom ending. If
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
is a
kiss,
wedding
roll
or
credits.
union,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
of yep,
Boy gets girl. Like yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, 1,000%. Well,
Yeah.
really missed opportunity by Dan and Rachel.
And Rachel.
Dan and,
yeah.
Dan, and Rachel
Dan and Rachel?
dropping the ball on their
really dropping the ball in their
planned
nuptials.
planned community
Mhm.
theater, but not nuptials.
Exactly. Exactly. So the police start talking to everybody that knows Sam, including, enter stage left, Dan Wozniak
Here we
and
go.
Rachel Buffett, who are his downstairs neighbors.
This Dan Wozniak is no relation to Apple co-founder Wozniak. We're not.
Not that I am aware of.
Wozniak's in
I
California.
really doubt it because there are a lot of money issues for Dan Wozniak. So I feel like probably
Not family money there.
not family money.
Okay.
No
And
old money.
Rachel Buffett?
Buffett. Or buffet. If maybe she was fancy, but I'm saying Buffett.
Rachel Buffett.
Buffet.
I can imagine
Her
and
family.
Sheila. Her family's like, Rachel, your name is Buffett. And she's like, no, my stage name is Buffet.
Buffet.
And she's like, I'm going to specialize in dinner theater. So Buffet
I
Rachel
mean, that
Buffett
plot writes
in
itself.
of the Starlight
Palm
Dinner.
Beach. Starlight Dinner Theater's production of Hello Dolly, starring Rachel Buffett.
Rachel Buffet. And don't miss the all-you-can-eat buffet starting at 9 o'clock.
There's a joke in there. All you can eat buffet. Nope, don't do it. All right.
Yep,
Don't do
yep,
it.
yep. She's a feast for the senses.
Oh,
Rachel
my
Buffet. That'd be
God.
her review, written by the local theater.
Some octogenarian. Just
Had a pun.
I'm
Ra-
writing
Rach-
it. I have a lot of puns.
Rachel
Yeah.
Buffet, usually
Mm.
known for chewing the scenery, has made a meal out of the role of Dolly Leva.
Oh, that's great.
So
Okay.
good.
Listen, we can make fun of them a lot. It's fine.
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
wait.
assuming they've both done something terrible, so we gotta
Yeah.
light now because
I mean, spoiler
yeah,
alert.
we've
Yeah.
already got 2 gunshots in the mix. I mean, my God.
Right.
Find the humor where you can. Okay.
Exactly. So they interview Dan and Rachel, and they say, both of them, Dan says it, Rachel corroborates that Sam had come downstairs to their apartment and then left with a guy in a black hat. That's it. That's what they told the authorities.
That's a weird
Okay.
description.
So weird description.
A guy. Okay.
So Steve, Sam's dad, is like, no way. No way. Sam would not do this. He wouldn't do it. So he starts his own investigation.
Love.
Yep. He pulls bank records because he and Sam have a joint bank account.
Ooh, helpful.
So easy, very helpful. And he sees that money has been withdrawn from an ATM about 20 miles away in Long Beach. So he gets in his car, drives to the bank, and stakes out the ATM, assuming it was Sam. So he could find him, bring him
he's
home
looking
like
for Sam.
he's looking
right,
for his
right.
son. As he's sitting there, staking out this ATM, he gets a ding on his phone from the bank saying that the bank card has just been used at a local pizza place.
Ooh.
So he's in contact with the authorities
Mhm.
as well. So he
Mhm.
told them about the bank
Yep.
card and he told them about the pizza place. He heads to the pizza place. The authorities start pulling the ATM cameras and they see that it is not Sam. Was it the man in the black hat?
Is it a man with a black hat?
He is wearing a hat. Things have just gotten more complicated. The cops go to the pizza place and they show them this picture from the ATM. And they're like, yeah, we know that guy. Here's his address.
Wait.
Because they deliver to him all the
Oh
time.
my God.
We know that guy. So the police are like, thanks, pizza place. And they head to the house, stake out the house.
Oh my God.
Right? So here we go. Coming up on the Act 1 finale. We're going to have an intermission so we can discuss everything.
I'm ready.
Just so you're aware. All right. So pizza delivery is sent to the house. The cops are like, jackpot. He's going to open the door.
Wait, did
They
they?
think,
Oh,
they're-
no.
go ahead.
Like an actual pizza delivery, just coincidentally. they're-
Yes, it's coming to the house while they're staking it out. Yep. So that's what they had ordered. They didn't pick it up. They ordered it to the house. So
Oh, this was the order of the
Yes.
credit card that they.
Yes.
Okay,
Got
got it.
it.
So that's a lot of
So
pizza for
they're
one morning.
thinking
Yeah.
it's a lot of pizza.
Like,
Yeah.
is he okay?
Yeah, right?
Do you have like blood
Well,
sugar
it
issues?
listen, it could be, and we'll find out why in a second. So they're staking out the house. I mean, there are helicopters, there are squad cars, everything. Pizza delivery pulls up. They're thinking Sam's going to open the door, or they're at least going to find Sam there, but it wasn't Sam. Instead, it was a 17-year-old boy named Wesley Freelick. This poor kid had no idea what was happening. He's like looking at the helicopters. He's like, what's going on? What's going on?
Is
His
he
friends that
wearing
are inside with him,
a black
not
hat?
at the time. He's not wearing a hat
Oh,
at the time.
okay.
He did in the ATM video. So his friends are like, don't go out there, man. Like, you don't know what's going on. Don't go out there. But he goes out there and he gets arrested.
Of course, because now he's
Yeah.
the number one suspect. Because we're like, well, we've got you
Exactly.
using the card. We've got you ordering the pizza with the
Yeah.
card. Like, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
They show the cops show him a photo of him at the ATM. They're like, we got you, kid. And then they force their way into the house thinking they'll find Sam, but they don't. They do find the ATM card.
Oh, so somehow,
So they're like,
this kid or someone within the house is in possession of Sam's ATM card. How long
Yes.
do we know? How long after the disappearance of Sam has this incident happened?
oh, it's like a day.
Oh,
It's
so
very
how-
quick.
Okay.
It's very quick. It's
how
a
did
day,
they get
2
the
days.
card? Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
it's a
We'll get there.
mystery.
It's not.
Oh,
You get it all. It's not an unsolved
This is
mystery
not a
at all.
mystery.
We're
Like
gonna
2
have a
more minutes,
conclusion.
Olivia.
Yeah.
This isn't Dateline
Yeah.
mystery where it
No.
ends and you're
No,
like,
it's not unsolved mysteries.
what? Which
Yeah.
is so frustrating.
Which is so funny because I watch Unsolved Mysteries knowing very well I'm not going to find out what happened in
No,
the end, but I'm
no.
still mad about
So
it.
mad about it.
So
Well,
mad.
there was some case or some documentary I was like watching recently on Netflix, and I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be like multi-parts, but instead it was just like like a 90-minute just like movie documentary, like closed loop. And at the beginning I was like, oh my God, but then like they solved it immediately because it was sort of like this where like it happened in the last like 15 years, and they're like, well, we had his GPS data, and we knew where he dumped his wife, and it was very
Yeah.
it was so cool.
It's much harder to commit crimes now.
Much harder.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the what do they call it? Like we have the information age, but also like surveillance. Like like this. Like there's an ATM
Yes.
camera. Like it's just
Yeah.
so much easier to track your movements.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's really
Absolutely.
difficult to like move invisibly.
Yeah.
And also like you would need to have like never
Yeah.
had a cell phone or a credit card or like it's so difficult. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like a day,
really
of
stay off
course.
the
Yeah,
grid.
it's like ordering pizza, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Dude, it's over."
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, kid. Yeah. So at first, Wesley denies it, but then the cops are like, listen, it was a murder, and he freaks out. He gets really nervous. He starts to cry and he starts talking because he's 17. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know where Sam is. I don't know who he is. I don't
Where are
know
his
where he is. I
parents?
don't know.
Where are this kid's parents?
Yeah. I don't know. They're just at work, I guess. I mean, he's at his house with his friends.
I'm really hoping this doesn't become like a Brendan Dassey situation where he's like, let me confess just so I can like go home
Oh,
or
yeah,
something. Like,
no.
don't do that.
Wesley's like a day player in all of this.
Oh,
so
okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So we're okay. So he tells the police that he got the card, the ATM card, from someone who said Sam owed money to a bail bondsman and they were looking for a third party to withdraw the money. he knew the guy that told him this. He was a friend. He showed him actual paperwork and was like, it's fine. It's legal. 17-year-old who doesn't know any better. It's fine. Just make sure that you wear this hat and glasses.
Oh, so he
What
has
is that?
1,000% been used as a pawn and set
Mhm.
up to be, I'll say, like this decoy in all of this, and to like
Yes.
throw him off the scent. So
Yes.
this third party is like, we need you to do a very important task.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh
So,
my God.
and the disguise
Mhm.
that they sent him to the ATM in was a
Mhm.
hat and glasses.
Yeah.
That's
But
very.
It's one
Wesley
of those, like,
Wesley didn't know any better. Yeah, exactly. Here's my
Exactly.
mustache.
With fake mustache.
Finger mustache.
It's like a little piece of gaff tape. It's just like,
And like
Yeah.
a trench coat. Like, well,
Exactly. But Wesley didn't think he needed a disguise because this friend of his said, it's fine. It's legal. I just need you to do
sure,
it.
sure. If anyone is having to
Right?
assure you that what you're about to do for them is legal, again, alarm bells.
Yeah.
Super
And
legal. Don't
Wesley
tell
trusted
anyone.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He trusted this person. So
Ugh.
he did it. He agreed. Wesley
Mhm.
agreed to withdraw the max amount each day. And it was the guy, the person also said, hey, it's okay to order a few pizzas if you want,
Oh my God.
like as payment, right?
and
you can
so
order some pizzas.
Wesley made the withdrawals and then
Mhm.
gave them to this shady friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so
all
he
right.
was,
Yeah.
obviously, he only was able to do this once before he got busted because pizza.
Before he got busted.
But there were plans to do this like daily until like whenever.
Until the money was gone. So
Ooh.
we'll get into it later too, but Sam had saved $62,000 of his combat pay in his bank.
So he had a chunk of change.
He had a
to
chunk
set
of
aside.
change.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's also, isn't your max withdrawal at an ATM like $500? That was going to
Yes.
take a really long time.
Yeah, it's going to take a long
Well,
time.
that's what you get teenagers around for, Olivia. They don't have anything else going on.
They don't have anything
It's
to
like,
do.
you know,
He literally like skateboarded over. So the person that asked him to do this drove him to the bank, stayed out of sight of the cameras. Wesley got on his skateboard, went over to the ATM, withdrew the max amount. So that friend
Again, where are his parents?
probably at work.
probably also like have absolutely no
Or it's summer.
idea. It's like they're like, hey, you know, he went to school. He's hanging out with his buddies. Like we have
It's
no
fine.
idea.
Yeah.
It's like it's. I think it's tricky because it's like.
It's probably a latchkey kid or something.
Well,
you know?
also like you're walking that balance of like none
Yeah.
of us have kids, but at the same time, it's like how much do you give them like that freedom and independence? Like you
Right.
give them their space as they're like maturing versus like not wanting to like helicopter them too much.
Correct.
And yeah,
I don't know. I was 17 when I was in college, so he might be away at school. You know, he
Sure.
might have an apartment with friends. I don't
That's
know
true.
what the
That's
house
true.
was. So they didn't get into that. So his parents aren't
Okay.
a part of this.
Got it.
So the friend that asked him to use the ATM card, an actor that taught him theater, Dan Wozniak.
I knew it.
Sam's neighbor.
I knew
You
it. I knew
There
it.
he is.
Here comes Dan again.
Wesley got advice from Dan. He thought of him as an older brother, a mentor, a director, and fellow actor. Dan directed high school theater.
Oh my
He wasn't
God.
a teacher, but he directed high school theater productions.
Oh my God.
Wesley called him a cool kind of cat who I'd like to groove with.
This is in
What?
2010.
Yeah, hold on.
Listen,
It sounds
it
like
was.
did this kid just do West Side Story and he was like a jet?
Probably.
It was like, who says
Right.
that?
Cool cat, cool boy.
He's like, I've been
Real
playing
cool.
the role
Yeah.
of riffraff, and now I'm
Not riffraff.
No.
Riff. I'm sorry.
what's riffraff?
It's
It's Rocky Horror. That's
Rocky
a much
Horror
different
Picture
show.
I've never been to West Side Story. Okay, give me a break.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Can we have like
Just riff.
a West Side Story Rocky,
Rocky
Horror
mashup?
match?
Yes.
Nobody asked for this,
Yes,
but
we
damn it, you're
can.
getting it now.
You're getting it.
Do you have
So,
instead of Doc, the shop owner, it's Meatloaf?
It's Eddie.
Oh my God.
Dr. Scott. Anyway, so
Rick-
what's funny to me personally about that is the cool kind of cat he'd like to groove with. Listen, I would not groove with this guy, and I don't think either of you would either. This is the kind of person in community theater that I feel like I'd stay far away from. You know the type.
Jen, I'm
You can
assuming
look at him.
is he-
I
I'm
have
assuming that
pictures.
I'm assuming this is not an old person, but it's giving creepy old man
No.
alert. Like,
A little
Is he
bit.
the type that would have a ward?
Not
Not
quite.
winning an award, but would have
A word?
a ward,
Award.
as in
No.
a young girl,
No.
perhaps, that follows
No.
him around. No, okay.
But he's the type that is everybody's friend. Everyone said how charismatic he was and everybody liked him. And I'm looking at this guy going, I don't like you. Not because maybe you killed somebody, but I don't like you.
This is-
You're the kind of person that's going to tell me everything that you've done.
Yes.
And how great you are.
Yes.
And I don't want to hear it.
This is a very this is
He's that guy.
this is a very specific type of community theater.
community
I'll even
theater.
say
Yes.
straight man specifically, because
Very much.
obviously he's engaged to a lady. But this is a very specific.
Oh, but does that really mean anything? in
Doesn't, but he is a
community?
little older, so hopefully he's figured it out by then.
This
Maybe
is a
not.
very
I don't know.
specific type of straight man in community theater, and you're absolutely right, Jen. If you ask them any question, like they will circle it back to like themselves and their credits somehow.
And how much I've done and how great
And how
I
great I
am.
am. You'll say like, man, there was a really long line at Publix. And he was like, I was at Publix once before a matinee in which I was starring as like fill in the blank of role. And you're like,
And I got this amazing review, and somebody was asking me to do it again.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah, they-
exactly. He's that guy.
I didn't even audition. Like they begged me. They just cast me like to be in it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like you're
that
exhausting.
guy.
Yeah, you're exhausting to be
We'll
around.
put lots of pictures of Dan up on our social media, but ladies, if you
Amazing.
want to go to the folder, because you'll
Is he
be
in there?
doing this in a little bit, there is a Dan Wozniak headshot. You can look at that, and you'll know exactly what I mean.
Okay, before I even opened this, I had a picture in my mind's eye. I was like, I bet he's gonna
And
look like
is
this.
that it?
He is exactly who you think he is.
Yep.
1,000%.
Oh.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And he's, by the way, the type of person who like would walk into an audition room and I would just be like, no.
And he'd be
Long
like
time.
talking to you, and I'm like, I am
No.
trying to shut
Just
up. I am trying to focus.
all the bad vibes from this
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah. And I know it's a true
I'm-
crime podcast, but I'm telling you.
No,
And Ashley, we had this conversation last night. Ashley's real good with the intuition.
I
Real good
just-
at it. I've gotten better, but that is, I would stay far away from this
there's
guy.
a
Can I
There's a
open some of these other photos in the file?
You absolutely can.
I
We'll
have
get
to open the
them.
one called Wozniak Buffet 9.
So
Oh, yeah.
this is
well,
Rachel.
We'll get to 9, the
So
musical.
this is Rachel,
Yeah,
though.
this is Rachel.
Rachel and her
Yeah.
buffet.
Rachel
Yeah.
and Rachel Buffet and
There they
I'm just
are.
gonna go out on a limb and say, she could have done better.
She could have done better. She cute.
She
Yeah.
cute, and he's kind of a thumb.
So we're gonna get into that like right now. We're gonna get into.
I'm
that.
pretty
So
pretty
keep
sure
that in your.
I'm
brain.
pretty sure this man has been convicted of murder based on context clues. So I'm just gonna say it. He's giving thumb, and she's
he's giving thumb.
she could do better,
Absolutely.
even in the community theater circuit. I'm saying it here
So-
first. Yeah.
I will tell you that yes, they were in 9, the musical together.
Oh my god.
He was very prominent, very active in the local community.
Oh, he's the
theater.
lead
At
in
this
9.
moment. He's
Yeah.
playing Guido.
Yeah.
No. Like, just let that sink. He's playing Guido.
Do
He's
we
not-
have him?
He's not Guido.
Do we have his resume? Like, I need to know
Resume.
more. Yeah.
No.
Ooh, damn it.
Oh, I bet we could find it. I'll look it up.
Sure we
but
could.
we do have, and we'll put it on socials. I will screen grab it. There are videos of him playing Guido, like singing. So we'll be able to put it out for everybody.
The Italian.
Yes, that and a few other songs, and it's all over the internet. So if you want to look it up later, you can. But
Incredible.
yeah. So yes, also in that same musical, Rachel Buffet, his fiance. So this is what Rachel says about Dan on Dateline. She was interviewed. He was jovial. He didn't have awesome pitch, but he was loud, and that alone can get you cast as a guy in community theater. And I was like, that's the most perfect thing I've ever
Oh
heard.
my God.
I just
He sang with purpose, if not with pitch.
that is a line.
So she was like,
that is a line straight out of Waiting for Guffman. Like, not on pitch, but loud. And that's
But
all
loud.
we need here, really. Like, because we're probably working with
Yeah.
mics. I don't see a lot of mics actually here in
not a lot of
the
mics.
photos from
No,
Nine,
they
the
were
musical.
projecting. He was loud.
Sing out,
And
Louise.
she was like, yeah, he got cast a lot more than her because he was a guy.
Because he had a penis? Like,
And he was loud.
you were
It's
loud.
like if you're gonna be upset, right? If you're upset on stage, like if you
I'm
want to show
dying.
emotion, just
Mhm.
yell. just yell.
Just,
Yeah,
be
I'm gonna yell a
loud.
lot.
yeah.
What is that thing? It's like the joke about like, women in community theater or like, girls specifically, like young girls. Like I'm very
Yeah.
excited to have been cast as like, villager number 3 in Shrek the Musical after 10 years of like dance and vocal training. And guys are like, the drama teacher cornered me outside like the boys' locker room and told me I've been cast as Shrek.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Wait, what's
Because
that
I need
from?
you.
That's from
I think
something.
I don't know if it's from a sketch or if it's like just from the internet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Just
might be
from the
just from
world, 'cause
internet.
it's
just from the
true.
road. But yeah, it's like, as a guy, like just roll it up. Just existing as a guy,
Yeah.
and it's also like maybe you won't even get the lead, but like it is almost impossible to not be cast,
To not get cast.
especially if it's like, well, we need 10 men for this show and we only had 7 audition. Unless
Right.
something is horrifically wrong, you are going to use all 7 of those men. Like it's
Yep.
just going to happen
Yeah.
for you. Like
If they
Yep.
can walk and put one foot in front of the other, they're going to be
Even if they can't
cast.
do that.
They're
even
going to be
then,
cast as a singing, dancing gangster in Guys and Dolls.
even
okay?
then,
If
even then, even then, Olivia, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, well, could we use them as like they could sing off stage maybe, and they can't sing at all. And it's like, well, maybe we can just have them. We can have their bodies.
We just need their
But-
their voice.
but are they
voice.
loud? Because that's what we're.
That's what we
They
need. We
just
don't have
need
microphones.
Off pitch and
We don't have the
loud.
budget.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So they met doing theater. They were friends first. He liked her more. Eventually, she said, "Okay."
Well, I'm
Wait,
sure.
that was her
I'm
quote?
sure he
That
told.
was her quote. Like, "Okay, I'll date you." Like,
He
okay.
wore her down. That's
Well,
what that
because I'm
is.
sure
Yeah.
he kept
Uh-huh.
reminding her how amazing he was.
Right.
Right.
Look, I'm cast as the lead in all of these shows. I'm so
He's
good.
like, it's like I'm great. Just ask me. Like, my God, like
Mhm.
and
I'll tell you. Yeah. Yeah. So she says, he fell for me first. He proposed. She says, this is a quote from Rachel. I wasn't head over heels in love, but I was okay with it.
What happened? What? Who hurt Rachel? Right? Like something
to her?
was wrong
yeah,
with Rachel.
have we checked on her? Like, did like
Yeah,
what's,
is
I don't
she
know.
okay?
what's happening here?
Yeah.
But because
Because Mama told me I'd never get a man, so I took the first proposal that came
Came
through.
along. Yeah.
also, like, if you are, and maybe she's describing this after the fact, maybe I'm
Sure,
assuming
it is.
But at
Yes,
the same
it
time,
is.
if you are freshly engaged to someone and you're describing your proposed marriage as like, I
Yeah.
was okay with it.
Okay. I was all right with it. It's
My
fine.
God,
Yeah.
I was watching some other like again some true crime thing or some podcast I was listening to, and it was like this woman who had been through a horrific experience with her like now
Mhm.
ex-husband who tried to kill her or something. Like she was the victim. But she was describing their early relationship as like, hey, when I met him, this is how he made me feel, and he made me feel beautiful, and it was magical, and we had this amazing connection. Because like that was her experience. And then like, obviously he
Right.
turned and it turned out to be something,
Right.
completely different and like horrible. But she
Mhm.
did describe it as like, no, in the beginning, like he was trying to woo me
was
and it was
good.
really lovely. Meanwhile, we have Rachel here. She's like, I was fine with it. I tolerated him.
I was fine with it.
Oh, shit.
So he
It was
was.
okay.
I wasn't doing
basically
anything
Dan-
else.
Dan was mediocre in all things. He was
in all things.
mediocre
like
in
the
singing.
quintessential mediocre white man.
Yeah, and he was mediocre as a fiance.
Yeah.
He was.
He was
Do you
loud.
think
Yeah,
he
she-
proposed? Do you think he proposed to her on stage?
You know he
Probably.
did. You know he
Yeah,
did.
they didn't talk about that. They did talk about how she like did everything for the wedding, and he wasn't even really helping.
I mean,
with
it's not entirely off brand in
It's
general,
not-
but
No, it isn't. But just like
he either proposed on stage,
goes along
he
with it.
did some
Yeah.
sort of like because 2010,
at a cast party.
no, a flash mob, like a musical theater flash mob. What?
like that's you know what in my brain. In
I
our
hope that's what it
story
was.
of Dan Wozniak. That's exactly what it
Peach
was.
Fleet.
He was like one day more.
Some
you know.
horrific 2010s
Yeah.
musical theater flash mob, and she was
Oh my
like,
God.
I guess I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Let's see.
This was
2010.
elaborate.
What was the? Hold on. I'm gonna look up real quick. What were the popular Broadway musicals in 2010?
I don't know. Look it up. It's intermission, so we can.
Okay.
It's intermission time, so
yeah,
we have time
What,
to discuss.
what was on the Broadway then?
What was?
Okay. We've
2010.
got.
I'm gonna fill up my wine
I'm
while you
looking
look
at
it up.
things that might be that would be like something that
Little
popular. that he might have grabbed something from
that would lend itself to a proposal.
lend itself
A
to this.
proposal
I mean,
to
I'm
our
looking
proposal.
at-
This is if we were writing the drama.
yeah,
is
well,
what it is.
Elf the musical,
Nobody
La
asked
Cage aux
for.
Folles, which is of
Mhm.
course the story behind the birdcage.
Probably not that one.
The Addams Family.
The ancestors come out and dance.
The
A little
yeah,
Morticia Gomez. I bet he thought himself a
he,
Gomez.
he
for
could
sure.
be maybe they
1000%.
did the tango from
From that, yeah.
yeah. And the Pee Wee Herman show was on
That's it.
Broadway.
Oh,
That's it. That's the one right there.
Interesting.
Pee Wee Herman.
well, I mean, Phantom was
Yeah.
was on Broadway forever.
Always.
Well, it was always on Broadway.
Well,
Right.
It was
Yeah.
on Broadway. I'm trying to think what else would have maybe even still been running.
I'm looking up the 2010 Tony Awards
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what was,
to see
who was in there?
to see what was Memphis.
Okay.
Let's
He probably
see.
thought he was a good Elvis, so.
Yeah, $1 Million Quartet. That was
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, Memphis $1 Million
I
Quartet
was
came
gonna
at the same
say,
time.
2010. I mean, and people are probably
Not
going to
great.
come at me for saying this.
Listen,
This was not the best year for.
It was
like
it was a light
right Titanic
year.
one.
Well, we
Yeah.
got Aaron.
Ragtime
Ragtime. Oh!
revival. Ragtime revival.
Wheels of a
Little Night
Dream.
Music.
We
Oh, there you
revival.
go.
we got Aaron Tveit
Little
in
Night
Next
Music.
to Normal that year.
We did in Next to Normal.
In 2009, sorry.
Oh,
I went
I'm looking-
Did
I went
he?
back.
Do you think he invited her to a weekend in the country,
Oh my God.
Ashley?
A weekend in the country.
Weekend in the country.
It's delightful. What a horrible plot.
We
A weekend
horrible
in the
plot.
country. I'm excited.
country.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Great lyric.
That's good. That's good.
You're welcome.
There was
Sondheim, we
also a
love you.
revival
Yeah.
of Bye Bye Birdie.
Ooh.
Hmm.
I could see
Yeah.
him being Birdie, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
sure.
sure. Yeah,
and,
Conrad.
and
Oh,
Conrad
for sure,
yeah.
Conrad. We also had.
Uh-huh.
I went back even further to like 2008 just to see like everything. Shrek was still running on Broadway in
Mhm.
2008.
Okay.
Guys and Dolls was running. The West Side Story revival was in the mix in
Oh,
2009.
there
So see, West Side
yeah.
Story friends, it might be True
West Side
True
Story.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, he did a big production of
He
Tonight.
did it.
maybe
Yeah.
that's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Singing Tony. Absolutely.
Yeah, they probably
Mhm.
did a rumble with the Sharks and the Jets, and then the rumble
Yes.
ended with him coming forward.
Tonight.
yeah.
Tonight. Yeah, here's my ring. You know,
Ugh.
I don't care that it's like Romeo and Juliet. Marry
I don't
me.
care
Yeah,
that
it doesn't
this ends
end
with
well.
murder. Like,
Newsflash.
Other than that,
West Side Story does not end with a wedding, shall we
no,
say?
it doesn't.
no.
No. How many bullets are left, you know?
And
Enough
the
for
real-
you?
Don't worry.
All of you?
Bottles, knives, guns.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
So,
was
yeah.
Anita, I just have to say. Ashley, here's one that we didn't. I was Anita in West Side Story.
In the before times,
best.
before
In the before
times.
times.
before that
Right.
was
Yeah.
we were like, oh, when you know better, you do better. But
Oh, yeah, there's no.
I
Yeah,
was
when
in
you know better, you do better.
I was 2006. I was Rosie in a Bye Bye Birdie somewhere. So that
Yes, you were.
that happened.
Jeff Lindbergh was in it with you, wasn't he?
Was Jeff Lindbergh was out.
Best scene partner ever.
Shout out to Jeff Lindbergh.
We love you.
All I have to say is top 3, Jeff. Top 3. And
Yeah, 100%.
If you know, you
He
know.
was supposed. If he was supposed to be, when I did Sally Bowles, he was supposed to be my Cliff, and he
that
backed
would've been
out, and I've
awesome.
never let him forget it.
Oh,
Good.
it was-
Don't let
it-
him forget
no,
it. He
just
was
someone
my
else, yeah.
he was in She Loves Me with me.
Jeff Lindbergh is just one of the most
He's the best.
delightful human beings on and off stage.
Yeah.
If you ever have a chance to collaborate with Jeff Lindbergh in any capacity, do it because you will not be
He would
disappointed.
never murder someone
Oh,
and then
never.
steal their ATM card.
He does not give you that feeling. Jeff Lindbergh is the opposite.
The
of that
opposite of
feeling.
every of all the creepy men we've talked about so far. Jeff Lindbergh is a treasure.
completely the
A
opposite.
treasure and a delight.
Yes.
He and his husband. We're privileged to know
yes.
them.
You know, I did
Yes.
not have mentioned Jeff Lindbergh in this episode on my bingo card at all. Like,
And
the
here it
most
is.
unexpected.
He's gonna have to listen
turn
now.
that
We're
we've
just
taken.
bringing in our friends, so they have to download.
gonna
like
talk
we
about-
talked about you.
You've been mentioned on this podcast. Now he's like, what? Where? Who? How? Oh,
Who, what, where?
incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Anyway.
incredible.
And scene.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Wicked Stage Pod.
Follow us on Instagram and check out our Patreon for more exclusive content. These deliciously wicked episodes drop every other Friday, so make sure you subscribe or follow and don't get left waiting in the wings.